thank you to the management to let me share my experience. Actually, I don't want anyone to miss my opening remark because it's very important to know where we started. 3 years ago, in 2017, in June 2017 to be specific, on a similar Friday like this, where today I was preparing to come to the presentation here, just looking at my record, actually I was getting ready to drive my first ride on Grab. So I was trying to earn money to Grab. You know, that was on Friday morning after Subuh prayer. So we get on I was just waiting for some first ride on the Grab. This was what I was doing 3 years ago. Before that, I was a lecturer in university, but due to, I have lost big money on one of my business startup. So at one point of time, I have nothing. I have zero, I have no stock, I have no money, I have nothing. I'm driving a Grab. And today, I have 22 staff in my office. I am paying the highest paying salary in my office is 16,000 ringgit. So in 3 years, I've come to a completely shift from what I was 3 years ago. So what I'm going to share today is how each and every one of you can start from zero with no money with you, and how in 3 years, hopefully you can stand in front of some people and share experience. This is the whole idea of today. Normally this talk will take about 3 to 4 hours. I stand there in the evening for the workshop, but Prof. Hafiz was, probably he don't want to get me too glamorous, he just give me 1 hour for me. So I just would like to just keep my talk short. Hopefully, inshallah, one day when you have a better opportunity, we can do more live physical presentation in your institution. Right. I hope it's all clear, right? Now, some introduction about me. I have a PhD from University of Southampton, graduated in 2018. But much before that, I started my online business in 2001. This was during I was doing my MSc in RPI in New York. To cut the story short, I resigned as a senior lecturer from University of Petronas in 2014, and I ventured into full-time business. Up and down, I lost big money, and then, as I told you, 2017 we restart, and then here we are. So now, why online and why now? So the question is, why is, it's a big opportunity in Malaysia to do that. So we look at the case study of Mamakiddies, how we have grown from zero to where we are now, and we will share that. So why online and why now? When we came back from the UK in 2018, there wasn't much opportunity for people to sell online. There wasn't Lazada, there wasn't Shopee. What we had before was Lelong and some other smaller platform. But with the main players such as Shopee and Lazada come into Malaysian market, they have managed to take biggest cost, which is the marketing cost. So they do all the marketing, and we as a seller just have to sell our product there. Of course, you need to you need to exploit the opportunity given by Shopee and Lazada. And internet retailing sees the most dynamic performance. I'll share with you how much that Malaysians are spending online. The third thing that why we should do online is the concept of ROBO. ROBO stands for research online, buy offline, or research offline, buy online. As simple as buying a toy, what people do now, they go to a shop, the toy shop, they look at a certain product, and then the same place, they will just open their phone and look at the same product online. If they find it 10 ringgit cheaper, they just say thank you very much. They go home and make the order. So this is what going on now. And online also can be only solution. It also can be complementary to offline. This is the data from 2019. If you look at this data, Asia Pacific and the other part of the world, the top is Asia Pacific that we are growing at 25% rate per annum. And specifically, interestingly, Malaysian are number 5 in the list in terms of e-commerce sales growth. And with the COVID-19 pandemic, where more people spending time at home, this has just made it much better. Just to share with you, that our sale during COVID-19, which was peak on April, is the highest ever sale that we have got. So to make it easier, let's understand, compare an online retail shop versus a Mama style F&B. I say Mama style here because it's easy to understand. A typical Mama shop, a good sized Mama shop, will cost about $500,000 to start up. It's no more small business at the moment. It's the same thing for you want to do a full size Tom Yum shop or any kind of food and beverage shops in Malaysia. So return per annum, normally that you can, assuming that you can get back your money in about 3 years, you're talking about 13 to 14,000 per month. However, there's a high rate of failure. Statistics shows that 60% will fail within the first 3 years. That's why you see lots of shops, many kind of food and beverage shop, after a couple of months, they just disappear. And not only that, you will be handling a large number of labors with immigration law, with health authority. If you do very well, after 4 years, the return per month is about 13 to 25,000 if you are still around and you didn't fail. And if you put all the profit, you recycle them, you can start another shop after 3 years, which means that your profit after 4th year will be around 25 to 50,000. So this is the best case scenario and a typical physical shop. Now, let's say that you start zero and you don't have $500,000 ringgit to start your shop, but what you have is a small amount of money, couple of thousand ringgit, and you want to start selling a flask in Shopee. So if you can see here, the flask here is being sold for 30 ringgit 88 cent, small amount of money, and this is the cost per item in China. It costs about 15 RMB, and minimum order is only 5 carton, assuming each carton about 50 pieces, so you need to order 250 pieces to get it to Malaysia. The freight charges from Yiwu, which is the largest warehouse in China, is about 350 ringgit per CBM. So you bring in about 1 CBM, it's going to cost you about 350 ringgit. So cost per item will be 10 ringgit and 40 cent. So if you sell them at 13.88, we'll give you 2 ringgit 21 cents a profit. This is after minusing the Shopee fee, which is about 2%. Shopee ads, assuming that you want to sell it at the, probably about 20 to 50 pieces per day. And maybe you are the serious seller, you spend money on the Shopee ads, which you have to spend about another 3%, and some packaging costs. So your ROI will be around 21%. Let's do another example. You want to sell this. This is the actual item. I have it here. You can see here that I have this. I bought it. So I'm talking actually about buying this after doing the study here. So this item being sold at 90 ringgit and 50 cent. And we bought it when I my trip to Yiwu in October 2019. So how I get that? I look at the best-selling travel pillow, and I see the opportunity there, because if you see here, this being sold only by overseas seller. There's no local seller selling this. So for me, it's an opportunity. So we start selling this, and we did this for trial. This is nothing to do with Mamakiddies. I did this as a case study to prove to my students who come to my classes, to show that you can start small and you can grow. And the cost per item is about 9 ringgit 30 cent in China. A minimum order about 300 pieces. So altogether it cost 2,790 ringgit for 300 pieces. The size of each carton is about 0.24. So overall, cost per item comes to 10 ringgit and 98 cent. So if you sell them at 90 ringgit 50 cent, you give you a profit of 7 ringgit 14 cent, which I did get, which I managed to sell 90.50. You can go to my Shopee and check the prices and the amount they have sold. After you minus the Shopee fee, Shopee ads, and packaging costs, you still make about 60% return on investment. I believe this is a good ROI, which means your investment value is about 3,294 ringgit, and your return is, if you can sell all the 300 pieces which you have bought, you will get about 2,142 ringgit. Currently, the overseas selling rate is about 72 pieces per month. assuming that you use the same number, so it will take about 4.2 months to finish the stock. Let's say we give some extra time, people don't buy for whatever reason, like currently we can't sell that because of the COVID, not many people are traveling. So let's say instead of taking 4 months, it takes you 6 months to finish the stock. So you can do 2 cycles per year. That means eventually you can still make 4,284, which is 2 times 2,142, with just 3,294 investment, which means that per annum you can more than 100%. In this case, 130% return per annum. Now, why this is important? The important is, if you look at it carefully, this apply not only for flask, not only for travel pillow, but for any item. In general, any item you buy in China, if you do a proper background study and you know how to sell them correctly on the platform, which is already available for you, without the money you need to spend on website or anything else, that means your investment only on the cost of the product, and you pay to Shopee and Lazada only when you sell them. This is the beauty of using the platforms. Whereas if you go to website, if you go to Facebook, if you do any other platform, you need to spend money before selling them. Other than the small money you might need to spend for some shopping ads, but you need to spend money only after you sell the products. So now, how you sell them? So when you get the product, you don't simply put a picture and sell them. You need to show the product in the best way. If you look at the pictures here, this was taken by our staff in Mamakiddies. So they know how to take the picture so that people will buy. So that, a simple product as this, if you just show them in a right way, you can get them sold in a good price, in a good quantity. So these are the more, and of course you cannot make up the story. So basically it's the actual item, actual product features. Is only the way you show them will be better. Okay. So by giving this, then the customer will feel comfortable to buy. And imagine this, previously people were buying at 90 ringgit 80 cents from overseas, from China. Now we are offering a similar product, or the same product in this case, but from Malaysia. I mean, in general, and you are selling at the same price. Even if you sell at 5 ringgit more, people will still buy. Because if you're going to buy this from the airport, it's going to cost about 150 ringgit, most likely. So choosing the right product is very important. And selling them in the right way, with the right title, with the right graphic, with the right description is most important online. Okay, now, we have previously looked at the setup of a mama shop. So let's look at online retail shop. So initial cost, let's say you can invest 5,000. I would say that's a minimum that you need to do in order for you to see a significant growth in your company. Or you can, if you have money, you can start with 500,000, or similar to what you did in a mama shop. Let's say we go a typical mama shop investment of 500,000 there. So monthly return, we're talking about 35,000 ringgit. And the beauty is you can just keep on reinvesting the money, because you're going to get 100% return by end of the year, which means you should be able to get 500,000 profit by end of the year. If you attend my physics class, I'll show you exactly how you get the calculation with the numbers, but due to limitation, I don't want to bombard with numbers. So I'm just giving you a concept so you can understand. What you need to do is to work out, and there are tons of classes people are sharing about selling on Shopee, selling on Lazada, but this should be an eye-opener for you to look at them in more serious manner. So by end of the third year, a typical monthly profit is 250,000 per month. And that is, of course, this is a gross profit, and you need to minus some of the costs, some of the profit that you get for your overheads. But overheads in online business is very small. The highest cost will be warehousing. The way we did in Waham, in our company is called Waham Sdn Bhd. The way we did in our company is we we rent office building, 4-story office building, which come with the lift. So we started with 3 units when we started about 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And then slowly we moved from 3 to 6 building. Now we have about 9 units, where out of 9 units, only 2 units that we use as an office, as a one unit used as a display. The rest of them use a warehouse. And because it's come with the lift, so we are happy here. And the rent you just need to find a place. Remember that you don't need to showcase your warehouse in a prime area. You can find the most cheapest area in your locality. The only catch here is you ensure that the courier, like Lazada Express, Post Laju, Skynet, is accessible, and they'll come as long as you have enough product. They'll come to you. So the profit they are talking here is equivalent to having a 10 restaurant. Now, what's the problem with restaurant? What the problem with any other physical shop? When you have physical shop, you have to have higher number of labors, and the higher number of labors, you have higher headache to deal with. Now, this is the assuming that this is the number that I just showed, that if you are to invest different number of capital, it's basically just how scale it up. If you invest 5,200, that you're going to get a monthly return. And if you put 52,000 ringgit, this number come from the actual Excel file, which I didn't share here. I can share if any of the once we're done with the presentation. If any of the participants would like to me to share, I'm more than happy to share that later. But what's the takeaway here is, you can get, after 4 years, you can get more than 500,000 return in 4 years if you study properly and you reinvest the money. Of course, this is the ideal case where you don't take any money out. In my case, it's not true, because I have, as I told you, I was broke when I started, so I need to pay all the debts. So, but that's the money that you can get if you started with a good number of with a good investment. So I just want to share that how that we have moved from 0 to what we are here. So we started, actually Mamakiddies started way back when I was in the UK. So what happened in between with that, due to some, I wouldn't say it's a mismanagement, but unforeseen circumstances, that the business didn't do well. We're doing very well in the UK, and when I moved here, for some technical reason, it doesn't do well. But yet, we managed to bring it back to, with the experience that we have learned from the UK, we managed to bring back and do much better than what we did in the UK. So this is how our logo changed, our original logo like that, and we changed this one. And this was in 2006 we started. This is when I was doing my PhD in University of Southampton. There was only 2 staff at the time, me and my wife. And now we have 22 staff at the current location. So just to, couple of things that I would like to share here. The first thing is about branding. Even in the UK, when we started in 2006, 2004-5 we started, but without brand. We just sell a product here. This is the product that we sell with no brand. So when you say with no brand, people buy, but people will not buy at a better price, because for them it's just, when people ask us what's the brand, we just say, oh, it's a generic brand. Nobody, because we have nobody to coach us. After discussion, we just say, why don't we make a brand? We just thought of something and we come up with the brand Mamakiddies. Okay. By the way, if you see carefully, there's Mamakiddies have the word "mama" in the shop. So I kept that word, and I think it's a, well, no, I think it's proven that it's a catchy brand. We are not existed not only in the UK, we are also in Australia, but our largest presence is in Malaysia. Okay, let's go back to the brand. When you make the brand, the same product which we used to sell for 70 pounds at that time, we can sell up to 120 pounds. Nothing changed except a small piece of leather strap to show Mamakiddies. Why? Because people trust brand. So my first advice to you is, doesn't matter whatever you start. Maybe when you buy a flask from Yiwu, fine. You start with 5 carton, but once you want to go seriously, you talk to them, you tell them, look, I want my brand on it. Like a brand. So because when you promote your product, you are promoting your brand. And let's say with the same brand, you bring another product, people will close their eye and buy the product. When we started, we was just selling strollers. But if you look at, if you go to our website, you can see that we are selling everything from trampoline, from strollers, car seat, you name it, we have it. In 2008, Mamakiddies Australia launched, but the way we did was, I have a family member there, so we have given the rights to them, so they're doing well even from 2008 all the way until now. So Mamakiddies Australia is still in operation. This is the 2 items that we were focusing on, baby item and toys. This was the first toys, and interestingly, we are selling this toy even until now, both in 3 places in UK, Australia, and Malaysia. This is the second step. After I came back from UK and I'm in Malaysia, we started another brand. We Skiddy for outdoor item. We did both in Australia and the UK. And 2011 also we started Mollycoddle Australia and UK. This is for more of a massage equipments. So what we found that when you do diversity at revenue, when you have more products, you have more things to offer. And this is very interesting because during COVID, what happened is our main product before COVID was car seat and stroller. But when COVID happened, as you all know, we are not allowed to travel. So, and nobody gonna buy the car seat, right? Because car seat is used to travel. So nobody buying car seat. And interestingly, and alhamdulillah, we have trampoline at the time. We have indoor items such as safety gate. And this item just pick up well and do much better than before. So I was happy that I didn't focus on one range of item, but I just diversify. And if unexpected happens, some might do better. On average, we're doing far better than time during COVID. So normally in COVID, people lost the sale. Actually, I hire more staff during COVID than before COVID. This is the molecular range of items, which to do for beauty item, massage item. We still do this item in Malaysia. So this is the actual thing. So now you might ask, what might happen? What could be the when I lost all the money? So what happened next? What happened is when you don't have I started small, but one thing that I didn't lose is my brand. So the asset is the brand. I don't have any money with me, but I have a brand. So I went to PNS, Perbankan Nasional, and I asked for pre-franchise loan. I went actually for something else, but the officer told me, why don't you apply for pre-franchise loan? You have a brand that has been doing well in the UK and Australia. And that's where it's an eye-opener that how much brand has a value. And I got the 450,000 from them. That actually changed the whole lot. Now this is the Mamakiddies product we are offering. Strollers, car seat, safety gate, and trampoline, and many more items. Okay. Now, I would also like to share the other thing is how we started a new brand. Probably I'm get obsessed with my own name, so I just name it Dr. Bash. I believe that nobody going to copyright the name, so I would rather just use my name than anything else. But if you look here, this is on the left you can see the old design. On the right is the new design with my brand. The cost to move from old design to new design is 0. Well, the only thing I have to pay is my in-house designer to redesign the box, and doesn't cost me anything extra. Okay, the product is the same because when we choose the product, we make sure the product have all the compliance to the safety, health, etc. So we didn't change anything. We just change the box. And this used to be on the left is previous ad, and the new is the current ad with the brand. Okay, and when you do that, and you see here, same thing. We just change. We just add the stamp Dr. Bash on the product. The rest is exactly the same because even before we name it, We know that the product have a quality that we want. It has all the safety requirement. It passed all the requirement by the Malaysian government. So we have the what do you call it, the right ingredient to name it on our own brand. And definitely, when you put the own brand, there's a value there. If today I'm going to promote this product, I can say Dr. Bash Ripple mattress. Previously, I can't do that. I can just say buy my Ripple mattress. So they will buy, but which one? But now you have a brand on it to promote. So that will have a value that will not come without any name or brand on the product. So how you start your own online business? This is probably how you want, what you want to, why you are here. The first point. To start your own business is a couple of questions that come to your mind. First thing is what product I'm going to sell, where am I going to get the product, and how am I going to sell them? If you can answer these three questions correctly, understand them, you should solve the question how you're going to start your online business. Now, what product that you're going to sell? I'll just give you this example. This is taken from Lazada, the top search keyword from Lazada. Okay, so you don't have to do all of these. Just pick one of them. For example, let's say you want, and I normally advise my students to look at items which they have an interest. If you have a pet at home, you like cats, you like fish, go to something that will make you happy because you know better about the product than anybody else. We do say one of our range product is pet. I don't have any cat at home, but I have to learn by reading books, by reading magazine, and then talk to people and which type of pet item is doing well. Okay, that's also you can do. Okay, so you can just pick one of these and then you start from there. Never, I wouldn't recommend you to go and multiple product. I'll suggest you do in a small scale. Just like I told you, you try with a flask, you try with travel pillow, we try something small. This is example I gave you. Start small. And then from there, you will learn. And then from the learning that you have, then you venture into a much bigger items. And if you look here, this is the fast moving consumer goods. For example, if you go under toys and game, the price range that people are willing to pay is anything between 20 to 69. So you have to make sure that whatever you buy is fall into this range. I wouldn't recommend you to sell anything below 20 ringgit. Or you actually 50 ringgit and more at least, because otherwise you spend a lot of money to pack them, to send them, and eventually you get 30%. Is a very peanut. So start around at least around 15 and above. Okay. Under health and beauty, the range is much bigger. Because people spend more money for health and beauty, you can spend up to 250 ringgit. And the pet supply, middle range from 20 ringgit for toys up to 120 ringgit. And for baby, of course, you know, these are the fast moving from 30 to 200 ringgit. And tips on finding item to sell is always start in a very small quantity if possible. If you are a seller before and you have a shop or your parents have a shop, try to sell the same product online. Just get them, learn how to take photo, learn how to write a proper description, learn how to make your product searchable on Lazada and Shopee and sell them. Branded is easy to sell. For example, let's say there are people, for example, I know 3 engineers who get together and they sell all the branded, like they sell all the electrical items, and now they're one of the top seller in Lazada. But of course, that one we need more money, and of course, you'll be very highly competitive because people can sell exactly what you sell, slightly cheaper, people will buy. Look for items with large review. When you go to Shopee, Lazada, you can see the review. Even it's negative. That means negative means people are buying, but they're not getting the right product. That is your opportunity. When there's a problem, there's an opportunity. You look, then people are offering the product, but people cannot give the product at the right price or right quality. So if you take it and then you improve it and you sell them, chances for your success is very, very high. Factor that affect the sale is the title. You have to choose the right keyword. This you only can learn by doing it. Of course, you can read about it, but even if you read and then you try them, then later you'll find that, you know, some keyword, some of the concept they teach does not applicable to Shopee. For example, if I use the same title for Shopee and for Lazada, the ranking is different because the algorithm they use are different. This is very important, that even though you have to learn the basic, but end of the day, it's more on how you try them, and eventually you learn how to do it. Product description. If you go to Taobao, I don't have time to show you on the Taobao example, but basically you go, Taobao is a similar website to Shopee and Lazada, but you see that even if they sell as small as a 15 yuan sandals, they do a photo in a way that it tell each and everything. Whatever you can think of is already there. So that make people buy. So this is how you should make your product description. Pricing, it's very important that you make sure that your product correctly priced. And remember that in pricing is one of the major factors that affect your sale. Unless you have a brand, but if you're just going by the product description and product photos and product value, the first thing people look at is, once they find the product, they look at the similar product on the price. So that's very important, how you price your product. So next question is, where you get the product from? Now, one way is you can get it locally. You go to, for example, the local wholesale market. For example, in KL, you have Kelanga Mall. In Klang, you have GM Klang. You can buy them locally in a wholesale, try to sell them. You can sell them. There are people who are doing it as a living, but the margin will be much lower, because the seller, they import to Malaysia in a large quantity and they resell to you. Second way is you can also buy from AliExpress. AliExpress, I told you, is a website seller from China. So you don't buy the same number. For example, AliExpress, they sell 1 or 2. You talk to them and say, I want to buy 10 instead of 1 or 2. So the price will be different. You deal with them, and then they send it to you, and you can resell them. By doing step number 1, the aim here is not for you to make money, it's rather to learn how to sell the product, how to make the right description, how to make photos, how to ensure that your product can come up when people search. Second step is you get it from Guangzhou or in Yiwu. The difference between Guangzhou and Yiwu, okay? Guangzhou you can buy in a smaller quantity, but if possible, I would recommend that you skip number 2, you go to number 3. You buy in Yiwu. Larger is not very large, as I told you. You can buy, if for example in Guangzhou you can buy 50 pieces of flask. When you go to Yiwu, they ask for 250 pieces. But you, if you're going to be a serious seller, I would recommend you go to Yiwu and get the product. Now, of course, you cannot go to Yiwu at the moment. So how we did. Let me share you how I solved the problem of I cannot travel to China. Okay, so most of my item, as I told you, not most, all the items that we get it from China. Just give me 1 minute. Prof, can you see me, Prof? Okay, right. Now, how we do it? I can't go to China physically. So what I did was, let me stand and just feel, I have seen for a long. What I did was, rather than just wait for the airport to reopen, I found a way, which is when we go to Yiwu, which is which is the largest wholesale market in the world. It is said that if you go to Yiwu and if you visit, is it okay? Okay, I think it's better now. Okay. If you go to Yiwu, and if you go to every shop in the Yiwu marketplace, they say you need 3 years to complete all the shops. This is how big and how vast is the area. So before you go to Yiwu, you need to do a proper, homework. Now, say that now at the moment you can't do that, and you, after listening to me and you do some research, you really want to know that I want to buy this product. So what you should do, what we can do is, you can hire the guide in China. Normally this guide, how they work is, when you go to China, they can be with you, they spend 1 day, they charge you close to about 250 ringgit. So they will come with you, they will come accompany you, they bring you to the shops that serve, which display the product, so you can save your time. Normally people go to Yiwu anything between 3 to 10 days. There are people come to every, spend 10 days there. Wow, serious seller. In our case, normally we go for 5 days. 1 day traveling, 1 day come back, 3 days should be sufficient. Now you don't have that time now, you have only 1 day now. So you pay for that person, the same person, instead of you being there and they bring you along. Now you tell them, look, I'm looking for travel pillow. I'll pay you 250 ringgit, the same money to you, but you bring me, but in camera. That means you turn on your phone, she turn on the phone, she just show you along, and she will speak for you on behalf, show you the product, and then we make orders. So sometimes, being a researcher, I like to prove my concept. So what I did was I tried to launch a new product by this way. And alhamdulillah, if you look at my Shopee, I start to sell frying pan, which is not maybe nothing to do with my product range. I just feel like more people are cooking during MCO, and I believe that I shouldn't miss that portion of the sale. And alhamdulillah, we managed to make orders. Not only we make orders, I will make a repeat order of the same product with a good margin. So in English they said, if there's a will, there's a way. Don't take as COVID as the way to stop you from venturing the new product. It's just you just need to find a way to to solve the problem and doing better way. Okay. Let us just continue here. Which one is better, to stock products or to do drop shipping? Now, drop shipping, there are people who make good money from drop shipping. I'm not against drop shipping, but my experience, personal experience, and experience of people who are full-time sellers, drop shipping is good when you start. When you are okay, when you have no fun, basically it's good if you have no products, you want to try how it works. That is the step of you don't want to go buy your product and try sell them. Because in drop shipping, basically somebody, like for example, let's say you want to drop shipping for Mamakiddies, what you do is there are people doing drop shipping for us. They are not our official drop shipper, by the way. So how they do is they list Mamakiddies product on Shopee and Lazada at much higher price than what we sell. They use our pictures, our product, everything's there. And sometimes you see they're shipping from Kajang, shipping from Johor, shipping from, they put that there. So what they do is, once somebody buy their product, and you might wondering why people buy the same product from them when we are selling at 250 ringgit and they're selling at 270 ringgit, why people buy from them? This is all about the search algorithm. So people can search and the product come up. Not everybody is, they're going to spend hours and hours looking for cheap product. When they want something, they just look at it, and if they if they found the right product, they will buy. So by doing that, when they sell the product, they make the order, and they make order to us, but we will ship direct to the customer. So by doing that, they will earn the extra money they will earn. So it's good for you to start. But imagine now, where if I were to sell the same product, I can make about 20 to 30% margin. Whereas if they sell the product, they might get only 2 to 3% margin only. So the margin is very small. But good thing about dropshipping is you can sell anyone's product. You can sell product from me, you can sell product from B, from C. And if you are good in things like Shopify, where you can use script, if you're good in software, you can get script and done so that in your Shopify website, you can get all the product or choose many products to be on your website, and you can do that. So, and you can automate them. Okay. So which one is better? I prefer that if you want to be a serious seller, because why? If the same product, when you're selling this time, the next time somebody sells cheaper, people buy from them. But if you have your own product, you can develop the brand. You can develop the product range. You can make it in a way that it can be a sustainable income. Income has to be sustainable. If I were to sell my brand, there's somebody who wants to buy my brand because it has a value, it's sustainable. Whereas if you're a drop shipper, anybody else can be a drop shipper for any other product. So for a long run, I would say it's better to stock the product, but to start, you can do drop shipping. I hope that's clear. Right. Next thing is Now, what we are doing at the moment is we are mainly on the fourth stage, that we get the item direct from manufacturer in much larger quantity. So there are three sizes of containers: 20 footers, 40 footer, and 40 HQ. We have moved most of our stock. Of course, the bigger you buy, it'll be cheaper. Not the price will be cheaper from manufacturer because they can give you in a larger quantity. Of course, you need more money for that. So you can start small and then you grow big. That's what we have done. We start with 20-foot container and then we go to 40 HQ. Okay, because the extra money in terms of the freight, the forwarding is almost the same. So overall, from 20-foot container to 40 HQ container, assuming the product cost is same, you still will save about 5,000 ringgit a month. 5,000 ringgit per shipment. You can save just by converting your order from 20-foot container to 40 HQ container. So, okay. Other avenue that I go every year to China to trade fair. I go to a specific trade fair for baby and toys, which is I normally go to two. One in the Canton Fair, but more importantly, the one that most of my product is from Hong Kong, a trade fair. Hong Kong trade fair is more, I would say, selective sellers who are focused on baby item. So by you going to the specific kind of exhibition, you can get your target market rather than if you go to Canton Fair, it's open. You know, there'll be one side there'll be baby item, one side will be ceramic product, one side will be machinery. Okay, so it's better you go that kind of a more specific product that you are looking. Now, when I give the stock is not only about how to sell them the product. It's more on how you can grow and become a full-time online seller. So most people, what they do is when they start the business, they just do it as as it goes. But what they forgot is the paperwork. You see, in our case, I was lucky, even though I don't have any money at that time, but I was lucky because I have put my paperwork correctly. So when I bring it to PNS, the funding agency, they can look at the track record that I'm doing some sale, I'm making profit. Because the sale was, in my case, online. So, it's all recorded there. But even though you're doing offline, show your numbers there. You bang in your money into the account. Show there's a transaction there. Show some sales, show some figure. Pay some tax. You have to pay tax. Typical old-timers, for them everything is theirs. Don't have that attitude. Pay some tax. If you understand, there's a way for you to do a tax planning. For example, we started as an enterprise and then we moved to Sdn Bhd. Sdn Bhd as an entity, we have a better tax planning. So you don't do tax evasion, which is illegal, but
it's 11 o'clock.
Is 100% legal. Now, this is a short, actually, I do a one-day course just to explain how to write a proper business plan and to get the funding from any agency. And after you listen to my talk, if you spend 3 full days, inshallah, you can get your paperwork done. Of course, to get it approved is a different story. But for example, in PNS, you need to plan at least 18 months. Why I say 18 months? Because the PNS, they want to see 2 years, PNS, they want to see 2 years of your transaction. I say 18 months because by the time you submit by process, you can get the extra 6 months there. Show you're making some profit. Learn to write simple business plan. Business plan is very easy. When I was in the university, and I have people in the university who are from the business school, and I went to talk to them. Prof, can you help me to do a business plan? And they give me 3 books for me to read. And I seriously, I don't learn anything from that book. You would rather spend time online, go and look for how to do a simple business plan, because you remember any funny essay, they want the keyword is simple. Okay, you might want to read the book to understand, but to write, you just have to go look at the sample. As I told you, I can do another talk on that, which is more detailed on how you do that. And have a vision. Like when I start Mamakiddies, of course, when we started in the UK, it was more like a part-time basis. Me and my wife was, we want something. We don't want to go do a typical, work when you go to UK. support. Normally you do a part-time job, odd jobs, but we thought, okay, never mind. We have some experience because I was doing online business in the US. So we started, and then, by incident, we come up with our own brand. But the good thing I did was that brand has a value until even now. So now I'm coaching you so that you can start today. If you are going to start a product, put a brand there and have a vision that what your plan in 5 years time. Inshallah, in 1st of August 2020, which is about a month plus from now, we have our billboard, a billboard on Federal Highway for Mamakiddies. I seriously, that was, for me, it's a big achievement to have a Mamakiddies billboard on a Federal Highway. It costs a lot, but I can do that because I had the vision a few years back that I want to make my brand, a known brand where people will start to buy my product, and by proper planning you can reach there. Okay, and the other thing is, Dr. Basheer doing Dr. Bash show. I also will do, Dr. Rizal or Dr. Hafiz. Don't do that, please. It's not because you become a competitor, but normally people, because I've been doing this for quite long, and there are people who try to copy, and it doesn't work. You have to be, your actual. You have to be your own. Come up with your own idea, and the learning is the concept that and other people you can learn. The biggest teacher or the best teacher is your competitor. If you go to Lazada, you go to Shopee, look how your competitor or your prospective competitor, it could be even myself, look how they are selling, why they are doing better than other sellers, why they are doing, their company who are just Setia Alam, who are posting 1,000 items per day. And we are learning from them how they do it. We're learning from them how they take photo, what kind of way that they can attract more customers to become the followers. So all this should be the learning instead of just copying and trying to just do exactly the same. So tip for success in business: stay focused. You might want to start as a part-time, but at a certain point of time you want to do full-time. You have to be focused. Even if you do a part-time, don't do part-time insurance, part-time online. Do one and do properly. Inshallah, you'll be successful. Take calculated risk. You cannot succeed without taking risk. But take the risk that if you fail, you can still come up again. Listen to others. Share your ideas with others, even though they are your haters, because these people will give you ideas. Sometimes they just tell things that you don't want to hear, which is good because they're giving their perspective. Remember that your customer also will come from the group of haters and people who like you. Okay, put customer need first. Now, one of the reasons why I failed on my previous venture is my passion was much higher than what customer wants. So due to that, I have my passion passion is good, but my passion was supersede the customer need. So due to that, I made the wrong investment, wrong product, wrong timing. I lost 1 million. I lost a big chunk of my money there. Okay, take challenge as opportunity. COVID is a challenge, opportunity. Don't complain. If people are complaining, you don't complain. Look how we solve the problem. There are lots of people. They went, and then during the COVID, there are people who sell masks, who sell sanitizer. It's all opportunity. Okay. So, but sometimes you need to think a little bit different than other people. Okay. Whatever you do, have a passion. Okay. And doing business is something enjoyable. I love doing business. This is why that I love my job as a lecturer. I love Petronas because they've been very good to me. They sponsored my study from undergraduate to master's and PhD. So when I leave in the right way. Okay, I don't simply get out. So and I doing my business, I love my business. So it was a point of time that I need to decide whether I should stay in the university, focus and become full-fledged professor, or to become a full-time entrepreneur. And I feel like it's unfair for me to be in the university and just giving 50% of my time. So at that point, I say I have to stop. I had my time in the university. I still love to teach. I still love to share, but I do it in a different way, like I'm doing now. But I spend my time fully in business. Now, which I didn't regret. Okay, So this is, for example, we are top 10. Mamakiddies is top 10 in mothers and baby category in Lazada. If you look at the other brands here, Huggies, Diapers, Tesco, Enfagrow, all these are not baby gears. They are all Pampers. Most of them Pampers and milk, and except Tesco. Okay, so we are not their league. Our product range is completely different. So we are basically we are number 1 in Top Gear, but overall in the mothers category we are number 10. This is where it's not exact. I mean the what do you call it, the graphic, but this is locations this is a location that we are going to put our billboard soon, inshallah. If you're coming to KL, you're passing Federal Highway on the 1st of August, you can see our new billboard there. And now, what is next step forward? Okay, of course, I would love to come over to your place and share my experience. So what I normally do with my other group of students is we will arrange a trip to Yiwu. Like my previous group, I give a talk to a group of NGO. So there were about 45 of them attended the talk. And out of them, about 12 of them decided, let's go and see ourselves the Yiwu. So they arrange everything on their own money. Even they just invite me to join them. Okay, so I'll be there for the first day. I'll stay with them and show around the place. But before we go, I had 3 different meetings with them, so that when they reach to China, they know what exactly to do. There are people who just go to China. They have this thing. Say, oh, China ni lubuk for drop, what do you call it, wholesale. Let's go to China. And when they go there, they see everything. They rambam mata. And when you come back, nothing, zero. Many of them. And I'll say that you can go on your own, but do your proper research. Spend the time, spend the energy. Most people, after the talk, they are willing to spend the money, but what they don't want to spend is the time. They want something quick. They want to be Mamakiddies in overnight. You can't do that. You need to spend your time. You need to study which item that you want to do. Who's your competitor? How you can be an edge than your competitor. Buy smaller items, try them, learn the process, and then you slowly build your reputation as an online seller. That's about my sharing.